No space for your children. My family declared each holiday for years. Yet ample room was always found for my sister's twins and their dog. I kept silent, but this year I acquired a New York penthouse, and they said, "We're gathering our belongings instantly." My comeback. Can you imagine being told, year after year, that there's simply no room for your own children at family gatherings? That your kids are too much, too loud, while a golden doodle gets a Christmas stocking? What would you do when that very same family, after years of treating you like an afterthought, tried to claim your hard-won sanctuary? My name's Michael. I'm 35, divorced, with two amazing kids, Jonah, who's 9, and Ava, 6. I'm a front desk administrator at a hotel in Midtown. And yeah, that means I'm a professional problem solver. I apologize for slow elevators, calm down stressed-out bridesmaids at 2 a.m., and I can smile with my eyes even when I'm dead tired. I know how to get gum out of carpet, and I know exactly what tone gets you an upgrade without a fight. People hand me their tangled problems, wrapped in questions, and I solve them without making anyone feel small. That's my job. At home, my life is small, clean. 2 bedrooms in Queens. Cereal boxes lined up like soldiers. A laundry basket that's never truly empty. My ex, Tasha, and I share custody. We're polite. We swap jackets when a kid forgets one. We're not friends, but we're a good team for our children. I'm not like my sister Lily. She's the glitter version of me. Big laughs, even bigger ideas. My mom calls her our star. Me? My mom calls me reliable, in the same flat tone she'd use for a decent vacuum cleaner. My dad calls me steady, usually right before asking me to carry something heavy. Lily has 5-year-old twins, Theo and Piper, and a golden doodle named Mocha, who sheds like a snow globe. For years, every single holiday, it was the same sentence, always delivered with a soft, gentle smile. There's just no room for your kids. Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, 4th of July. The excuses changed, but the message never did. The basement was full of donations. The guest room was set up for the twins. Mocha needed a quiet space. Meanwhile, there was always room for Lily's kids, and of course, for Mocha. One year, Mocha got a stocking. My kids? A quick hug on the porch and a to-go plate. I just swallowed it. That's what I did. I called it logistics. I'd say, we'll just stop by early. I'd pack coloring books, keep the car warm, and snap quick photos in the driveway because the living room was already perfectly staged. I kept telling myself, next year will be different. But next year never seemed to show up. Then, this spring, something shifted. I got a promotion. Nothing dramatic, just a bump in pay, a bonus, and a chance to move closer to the hotel. I found a place that felt unreal the first time I stepped inside. A top-floor duplex in an old, tired building that someone had poured love into. People called it a penthouse. I just called it sunlight. 2 balconies, a sliver of sky, enough room for bunk beds, and a table that didn't wobble. I signed the papers on a Tuesday, sat on the floor with Chinese takeout, and watched the city blink. I sent 1 photo to the family chat. Mom sent 20 exclamation points. Dad wrote, "Proud of you, son." Lily wrote, "OMG." Then, a moment later, Lily typed, "We're packing our things right now." That old, familiar knot in my stomach twisted, but then, something strange happened. It loosened. I slowly put down my chopsticks. And I typed back, "This isn't a hotel. We're not doing that." You see, it didn't start with the apartment. It started with space that was somehow never meant for us. The first year, I brought Jonah, still a baby. Mom said, "Just stop by for hugs. It's chaos with the twins, you know how it is." When we arrived, 2 high chairs were already at the table, complete with place cards, Theo and Piper. I ended up bouncing Jonah on my knee in the hallway, by the coat closet, while Lily just laughed. "Oh, we totally forgot your little guy needs to sit too." Dad mumbled, "We'll make do." Then Mocha jumped into his lap, and nobody moved the dog. Another Christmas, Mom called a week before. "Full house, sweetheart. Come at 8 for coffee. Presents are at 10. We left at 9:30. Through the window, I could see the tree, and the twins in matching pajamas. I told Jonah we'd do gifts at home. He was too little to know the difference. The reasons always mutated. The basement is mid-Reno. Your kids don't sleep well in new places. The twins are on a strict routine. But the truth was simple. The available room was a moral compass that always pointed to Lily. I tried to be okay with it because the conflict would cost more than my feelings. I picked quiet because quiet is lighter to carry. I told myself it wasn't personal. But then my son asked, "Why can't we sleep at Grandma's?" And I'd say, "We'll have our own fun," pretending he didn't hear his cousin shouting from inside, while Mocha wore a scarf. And it wasn't just space. It was money. Little things, always. Lily's texts were cheerful invoices. "Can you grab the twins' robotics kit? I'll pay you back Friday." $119. It never came. The sitter canceled. Can you cover the deposit for the backup? $75. You're a lifesaver. Theo's inhaler copay is ridiculously high. $62. Love you. Mom's version was softer. Don't worry your sister right now. We're juggling so much. You know how kids are. Dad's version was ancient. Family helps. My version was my bank app at midnight and a spreadsheet named Lily U that I filled for 3 months before closing it because it just made me furious to look at. At work, I was the guy who made sure other people felt welcome. Of course, we have space. Absolutely. Let me see what I can do. I comped upgrades, made room out of thin air. I mistakenly carried that skill into my family. I moved things around inside myself until everyone else fit. Everyone, that is, except me. It looked like generosity. It was erosion. The worst scenes were the small ones. Easter. Jonah walked in with a dyed egg in a paper cup. Mom took it, smiled, and placed it on a side table, behind a lamp, where no one would see it. The twins made 12, she said, like that explained physics. Thanksgiving. Ava sat on the floor with her plate because there was no seat. Dad said, well, she's young, like gravity works different at 6. Lily taped Mocha's art, a gold paw print, onto the fridge and laughed when I noticed. He's family, she said. I tried to raise the topic once, with calm numbers. We drive an hour. We come early. We leave before dinner. It's hard. Mom sighed dramatically. Oh, Michael, you're making everything so heavy. Lily chimed in. Don't guilt trip me because your kids are high energy. They're children, I said. Exactly, she smiled. I tried small boundaries. Please ask before you use my Amazon. Please don't add my card to Instacart. Please don't send me Venmo requests with no explanation. Lily replied with thumbs up emojis, then did all 3, one after another. Once, I saw a delivery tip for an address that wasn't mine. It was an accident, she said. It kept being an accident. Why didn't I just blow up? Because blowing up would make me the story, and I'd be the villain. My mother has this way of holding her breath that makes you feel like you broke something expensive. I learned to make repairs before the break. So, I didn't announce the penthouse. I let the contract close, the keys hit my palm, and the blood returned to my face. I walked through the empty rooms and pictured my kids actually staying there. Sleeping, eating breakfast, leaving socks in places that would annoy me. I put my hand on the balcony rail and imagined telling Jonah, yes, we live here. I thought, very quietly mine. I told them with a photo, because I didn't trust my voice. The photo did what photos do. It invited a story I didn't write. We're packing our things right now. Lily typed. Not a question. Not, can we stay a weekend? Not, can we come see it? Just a declaration, wrapped in confetti. The old me would have started moving furniture in my head, making lists, choosing sheets, rinsing a dog bowl. The new me pictured my kids' beds and saw no room for somebody else's permanent maybe. I work at a hotel. I know how quickly one night becomes. We'll find something next week. I've seen guests turn amenities into entitlement. I've watched people decide a space is theirs because they liked how it felt. I've learned the only sentence that matters when you carry keys. Here are the policies. I needed one for my life. I typed, this isn't a hotel. We're not doing that. And for the first time in my family, I sounded like me. The call came before my phone hit the table. Lily, haha, you're funny. When should we bring the playpen? Me, you shouldn't. Lily, Michael, we can use the second bedroom. The twins don't mind sharing. I'll put Mocha's bed by the balcony. He loves fresh air. Me, there is no Mocha bed here. Silence. Then, offense. Lily, you're serious? Michael, we're family. Me, exactly why I'm telling you the truth. She made a small sound, like she was deciding which strategy to try. She picked pity. Lily, our landlord is impossible. We just need a landing pad. A month, 2 max. Me, I can host dinners, I said. Not households. Lily, you're punishing me for mom's rules, she accused. This is about the holidays. Me, no. This is about my home. Mom jumped in, a 3-way call, like she'd been waiting behind a curtain. Mom, Michael, I'm hearing you're refusing to help. Me, I'm stating a boundary, I said, my voice calm. My front desk voice. The one that makes drunks hand back their room keys. Mom, boundaries are trendy, she said, like they were boots. Me, they're also real, I countered. Mom, you have space, she said, bright and reasonable. We don't. It's simple math. Me, it's my space, I said. That's the math. Mom, we've always made room for Lily's family because they have more moving parts. Me, I have 2 moving parts, I said. They're called children. Mom, your kids are loud at night, she said gently. The twins sleep like angels. Me, Mocha barks at air, I said. And we keep pretending that's adorable. Mom, don't be cruel, she hissed, the word a slap. Me? I'm being clear. Dad clicked on late. What's all this? He asked, as if he'd walked into a movie after the good part. Mom, your son bought a penthouse and doesn't want us in it, she said, turning up the volume on martyrdom. Me? It's an apartment, I corrected. And I don't want you living in it, Lily. Lily's voice sharpened. We helped you, Michael. Me, how? I asked. Lily, support. Me. We babysat twice last year, and I sent you $1,200 since January. I blurted out before I could stop myself. Receipts on request. Mom inhaled like I'd cursed. No one is shifting blame, she said. Translation, you told the truth out loud. Lily pivoted. Fine, not permanent. Just Thanksgiving. We'll host it at yours. It'll make up for everything. Me? No, I said. Mom? Non-negotiable. She floated the words like balloons. Me? It's entirely negotiable, I said. And I'm saying no, because you want revenge for all the no-room years. I looked at the empty wall where a clock would go. I pictured Jonah and Ava, their backpacks, the way they run into a new room like it owes them nothing and everything at once. This isn't about revenge, I said. My voice was steady. It's about closure and boundaries. Dad tried the deadline. Family helps. Me? Family also respects, I said. Lily sighed dramatically. You're going to regret this. Me? I'm going to assemble bunk beds, I said. Mom, her voice low and dangerous. Michael, if you shut us out, don't expect us to show up when you need us. I thought about the porch hugs, the to-go plates, the dog stockings. I thought about the last time show up meant more than a caption. I won't, I said. I ended the call. My hands shook the way they do after a difficult guest finally leaves the desk. My heart banged against my ribs like a bad checkout. I sat on the floor and let it happen. Then, I stood, grabbed the hex key, and finished the bunk beds. I put Jonah's blue blanket on the top, and Ava's unicorn pillow on the bottom. I texted a photo to Tasha. She wrote, looks like a home. I wrote back, it will be. The first week was a chorus. Guilt, threats, logistics, back to guilt. I kept the phone on silent and answered when I had the bandwidth. Mom, your grandmother asked why you're excluding family traditions. Me, we're creating our own. Mom, you sound cold. Me, I sound clear. Lily, can you at least store a few boxes until January? Me, no storage. Lily, we'll pay you. Me, no. Dad, your mother is upset. Me, I know. At work, I practiced my yes elsewhere. Yes, we can get you a late checkout. Yes, I'll print your boarding pass. Yes, we'll bring extra towels. It felt good to be generous in a place built for it. Coming home to a door I locked and a rule I kept felt like rinsing my brain clean. The twins' lease actually ended. Lily pushed harder. Just 2 nights while movers figure out the truck. I offered a hotel discount code. She said I was being corporate. She showed up with a Peloton and 6 Rubbermaid bins anyway. The doorman called. Sir, a delivery is insisting it belongs to you. I went downstairs. There was Lily in athleisure, the twins climbing a stack of boxes, Mocha in a bandana that said City Boy. Don't be dramatic, she said. It's temporary. You ignored me, I said. Because you're being unreasonable. I turned to the doorman. It's not mine. You're really going to do this? She asked, her eyes wet. I already did, I said. People watched. That's the worst part of boundaries, the audience. But no one booed. A man held the door and pretended to check his mail for a long time. The twins looked confused. Mocha tried to lick a sign about no animals without registration. It was almost funny. Lily called Mom on speaker. He's refusing to help. Mom, Michael, compromise. Me? 1 suitcase each for 2 nights, I said. That's the compromise. You brought a gym. Lily's friend with a van came. They left angry. Anger is easier to carry than boxes. That first weekend with Jonah and Ava in the new place, we did everything wrong, and it was perfect. We ate pizza on the floor. We let a cartoon play 5 episodes in a row. We made hot cocoa that was too sweet. I showed them the view. Jonah pressed his forehead to the glass and said, Is this all ours? I said, It is when you're here. Ava said, Even the sky? I said, Borrowed, like a library book. She accepted that. Sunday night, they slept like butter. I sat on the balcony and let the city's noise decide what it wanted to be. Someone played a trumpet badly. It sounded like trying. Then the holiday planning messages started. Mom, so, Thanksgiving at your place. I'll bring the turkey. Lily will handle sides. You just make space. I typed, no. She typed, we already told the twins. I typed, tell them plans changed. Lily, we're doing it there. You'll thank us later. I wrote, if you show up with food or a dog, you won't get upstairs. She wrote, you're not serious. I sent a screenshot of the building's pet policy. Wow. On Thanksgiving morning, the doorman rang. Mr. Rivera, there's a family here with a dog and many pies. I went down. Mom held a casserole like a peace treaty. Lily carried a roast pan like a threat. The twins bounced. Mocha wore boots. Surprise. Mom said. No, I said. We're not doing this. Don't make a scene. I'm preventing one. The kids will be crushed, she said, nodding toward the twins behind her like props. I crouched to their eye level. Hey guys, Saturday, 11 a.m. The big park with the dinosaur bones. Hot chocolate. Deal. They nodded, because kids are resilient when adults stop using them as levers. I stood, looked at Mom, at Lily, at the dog's boots. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you Saturday. We ate chicken upstairs because turkey is too much bird for three. Jonah said the bubbles in the seltzer made it feel like a party. Ava spilled cranberry sauce and cried, thinking she ruined the carpet. It's a rug, I said. We clean rugs. We cleaned the rug. We watched the parade replay on my phone and made a game out of judging floats like experts. It was stupid and perfect. Mom's captions that day were all about gratitude. No mention of conflict, no video of the lobby. That's how family PR works. It used to bother me. It rolled off me this time, because my kids were licking whipped cream off spoons, and my sink had one pan in it instead of 20 dishes I'd wash, while everyone said thank you around me. December brought a wave of asks, dressed as traditions. Cookie exchange at yours? No. Twin caroling party on your balcony? Absolutely not. Mocha hates fireworks. Can we use your place on New Year's so he feels calm? The dog can meditate, I wrote in my head. Then typed, simply, no. The pushback came in standard issue phrases. You've changed. Money went to your head. We missed the old Michael. The old Michael was always available. The old Michael said yes, then found a way to survive it. The new Michael said no, then sat in the discomfort until it turned into air. Rachel, Tasha's friend, noticed. She brought the kids over one Sunday, dropping them off with their backpacks. She looked around and whistled. Nice space. Thank you, I said. She looked at me. You look quiet in your face. I laughed. I finally installed a lock on my life. She high-fived me, like we were still good at that. Work bled into home less. I stopped mentally checking people in when my phone buzzed. I drew a stupid sign for the kitchen, house rules, in my block handwriting and taped it inside a cabinet where only we'd see it. Bedtime is a promise we keep. We eat at the table or the balcony, not in a rush. We don't apologize for taking up space here. We don't host surprises. The kids added one in marker. No OS. I didn't argue. A week before Christmas, Mom tried softness. We got the twins a train set, she said on the phone. They want to share it with Jonah. We'll come to you Saturday. We'll bring cocoa, I said. We'll stop by your place after. She said, we won't stay. We'll see. I said we didn't. On Christmas morning, we did something wild. Nothing. The kids and I stayed in pajamas. Pancakes, oranges, wrapping paper that stuck to our socks. We FaceTimed Grandma at noon. She panned her camera across a busy living room where Lily's kids built a train across 3 rugs and Mocha wore antlers. Mom said, we wish you were here. I said, we're good. Jonah leaned into the camera. We got a view, he announced. Ava yelled, we got a balcony. Then they ran away mid-call, because that's what free kids do. Mom looked at me like I'd picked the wrong team. I looked back like I'd finally found mine. Invoices tried to boomerang. Lily sent a note about shared holiday expenses. I replied, we didn't share a holiday. She sent a photo of a receipt anyway. I sent back a thumbs up emoji and nothing else. If silence could be a locked door, it was. In January, the dust settled in boring ways. Lily found a bigger rental. Mom started a new hobby group and posted crafting photos like a ceasefire. Dad texted me about the Knicks. The twins asked if Jonah could come to their birthday at a trampoline park. We said yes. They asked if Mocha could visit my place just to see the view. We said no. They survived. The nicest thing? I didn't expect it. My home became easy. It stopped being a symbol and turned into a place where someone leaves a sock under the couch, and you find it 2 days later and laugh instead of sigh. Jonah built a Lego city on the coffee table, and Ava named it Yes Town. I taped their drawings to the fridge and stopped straightening them every time I walked by. The balcony grew a basil plant that actually lived. I stood out there one night, listening to a siren rise and fall, and felt honestly grateful I could choose when to open my door. Here's what I learned, written plain so I don't forget. A boundary is not revenge. It's a home policy. I work in hospitality. Hospitality without policy turns into harm. Welcome is not the same as take whatever you want. The front desk taught me that. My family taught me the rest. I don't need them to agree to make my no valid. I don't need to audit the past to justify the present. The past is obvious if you've lived it. No room for your kids was a door in my face, dressed as a paper wreath. I kept knocking anyway. This year, I stopped and used my own key somewhere else. I sent one final email in January. Not a manifesto, just a simple memo titled, Going Forward. My apartment is not storage, a crash pad, or a pet sitting service. Visits are planned, short, and on my calendar. Surprises turn into no. No one uses my address or my accounts without written permission. If an event excludes my kids, I won't attend. No drama. That's the boundary. Mom wrote back, understood, with a period like a sigh. Lily replied, you're so corporate. And then, a week later, asked if I could look over her new lease. I did. I highlighted 3 lines and wrote, don't sign until they fix these. She sent back 3 heart emojis and thank you. I am not a villain in her story. I am a person with a spine. Those can coexist. Last weekend, we all met at the park. The twins and my 2 ran until gravity negotiated with them. Mocha wore a sweater, which I ignored. Mom handed me a thermos like a peace offering. You look good, she said. You sound rested. I said I am. We watched the kids invent a game with rules that changed every minute, and nobody cried. That felt like a forecast. I walked home with Jonah on one side and Ava skipping on the other. We stopped for bagels. We climbed the stairs. I opened our door. The air inside smelled like cinnamon and warm dust. Jonah yelled, yes town, and dumped Legos back into their world. Ava dragged her stool to the kitchen to help me stir nothing in particular. My phone buzzed with the family chat. Lily posted a photo of her new place and wrote, finally, space. Mom wrote, see, it all works out. Dad wrote, game on at 7 o'clock. I put the phone face down and turned on the kettle. Because if you want to know what I wrote back to that first message after I sent the skyline photo, the one where Lily said, we're packing our things right now, it was 5 words. I mean, more every day. This isn't a hotel. No, I didn't slam a door. I closed it gently. And I locked it. Because that's what you do when you finally live inside the life you pay for, and care for, and cook in. I'm still reliable. I'm still kind. I'm just not a lobby anymore. And there is room here. So much room. Room for my kids. For our noise. For our small, ordinary holidays where nobody asks us to be quiet in our own house. For a basil plant that refuses to die. For me, on a balcony, breathing like a man who finally decided the welcome sign on his front door belongs to him. Have you ever had to draw a line in the sand with your family, or with anyone important in your life? What was that moment of enough is enough for you? I really want to hear your stories in the comments below.